So Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame, talked recently in the combine about everything. About what he thinks about the NFL, where he sees himself in the best situation, and all that he can do. And a lot of it was just him saying, listen, whoever drafts me, I'll be the best for them. I'll do whatever it takes to be their best player. I'll contribute as much as possible, whether you put me in the backfield, on the slot, on the side, whatever. I can block. I can do everything. And there's a reason why he is ranked number one among tight ends in this draft class, which, if we're being honest, is a very, very, crowded draft class when it comes to really good talent. So it's hard to really break down one said player and why one said player is better than the other. Michael Mayer is that guy, though, that steps above them all. So let's go ahead and listen to him because he talks about the Bengals and he talks about possibly being drafted by the Bengals.
And really just, see how he thinks. It would be awesome.
I know the reporters are so quiet. He said, what do you think about the possibility that you might go play with Joe Burrow and be a Cincinnati Bengal? That's what they asked.
Awesome. Joe Burrow throwing me that ball, man. Look, he's a national champion. He's taking his team to the Super Bowl. And so, obviously, I'm trying to win ball games, man. I'm trying to go to the NFL. I'm trying to win ball games and win a Super Bowl. So, I want to be put in a good position for sure to be able to have a good quarterback throwing my way, be able to win some Super Bowls and things like that. So, growing up 15 minutes from Houday Stadium, man, it would be awesome. There's no doubt about that. I think it's an advantage for sure. Look, my past 3 years, I missed one game total from a strained groin, and I think to be available like that is fantastic. And so, staying injury-free, playing my game the way I want to play my game, I just feel like that's what I got to keep doing.
So, yeah. And this is why a lot of Bengals fans I know like this guy. I like him because he went to Notre Dame, and that's my college. But overall-wise, I know a lot of people love this guy because of the fact that he was a Bengals fan. He grew up 15 minutes from the stadium. He is the most Houday culture guy you can get. And the sad part is, after this amazing combine speech and amazing combine performances, he's probably going to go even higher than we projected before. I think before what we had him probably almost ended the first round. Now he probably walked his way up to mid-first round, if not higher than that. So if Cincinnati does want him, they're going to have to realistically trade up to get him. We talked about a possible trade-up scenario earlier today where the Bengals could trade up to number 11. I don't really agree with the whole scenario trading up, which, again, like I said, I understand the point of view of trading up, but with how the Bengals work, they usually get a lot of good draft picks, and they're able to take a lot of good players later on in the draft rather than trading up and trying to get somebody else. But if they do trade up, obviously we talk about Peter Shronsky, Broderick Jones, and obviously Michael Mayer as possible trade-up candidates. This guy would be the Hayden Hurst replacement. Because at this moment in time, it doesn't look like Hayden Hurst is 100% coming back. I thought he was absolutely due it, but after his breakout season last year, he might go and chase the money and actually do kind of what CJ did and chase the money and get paid big money, which again, you have to respect because that's the player's career, the player's life. But at the same time, though, that means they're going to need a replacement for Hayden Hurst. Could you trade up to get Michael Mayer? That is a possibility. But the problem is, right, and this is the problem I have with this draft class, is if you look, I did 50 mock drafts, full 7-round mock drafts yesterday, right? Every single pick was different, which is very factual to a lot of NFL experts right now. No one really knows where Mayer will go. I have seen him mocked as high as top 15 and as low as almost the second round. So, and after this whole combine thing, he's only going to go higher and higher. So let's say Cincinnati says, you know what, we're going to trade up to the 18th pick because we want Mayer. He might go in the 15th. He might go in the 14th. He might go in the 12th. He might go in the 11th. He could go to the Eagles at 10. This is what's so scary about this draft class. And what's scary about the NFL draft is, you know, you get really connected to a player. You get really emotionally connected. Like, that's our guy. We're going to go take him. And coaches themselves do this all the time when they go, okay, you know what? He's our number one on the board. But that's why you always have to have a plan B, because if not, you know, you're going to end up finding yourself in a really bad situation. So, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I think that they'll be fine no matter who they take Bengals-wise. I still do not want them to trade up. I want them to stick their picks together and, you know, draft as many key stars as possible and rookies as possible to really build up their team. And in the end, if it works out where they get Mike or Mayer the 28th overall pick, then that's amazing, right? Then you get a star tight end, the 28th overall pick, and you also have all these other picks to kind of work around. I will forever say I do not like the idea of trading up. I don't. The only time I ever say you trade up is if you really know for sure that this guy is that guy, right? And usually that ends up becoming a quarterback. Usually every time you ever say, oh, this is the guy, this is the person that's going to change my franchise around, is when it's a quarterback. If it's not a quarterback, I don't like the idea of trading up. I think trading up, if it's not for a quarterback, a lot of times you never know what's going to happen. And in reality, you could probably get a player later in the draft, or either that said player later when you pick, or you could get a later round pick that's very similar to that said player where you waited, and maybe you now have more draft capital. Because in order for them to trade up even to number 11, let's say 17 picks, that's going to be 2 second-round picks plus their first-round pick to get to number 11. To get to even inside the top 20, it's going to cost them at least a second or third-round pick of this year, probably even more than that to get even inside the top 15. I don't like the idea. I get behind the idea because, like, we want to go get that star gem player, which makes sense, but you got to remember at what cost. I mean, the Bengals are known for getting third, fourth round gems that absolutely take off with them, right? Pass rushers, star guys in the end of these drafts that ends up becoming studs. I mean, you got to look, Trey Hendrickson, obviously, Sam Hubbard was drafted by the Bengals, third round pick. I think Hendrickson was also like a second, third round pick for the Saints. You got to remember that. So, it is what it is, but if you guys do get Mayer, he'll be awesome. He'll be an amazing player for you guys. But we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next one. Peace out.